Hello and welcome back once again to Authentically Me, the podcast. It has been a little while because I've been going through a bit of a upgrade myself, shall I say. Um, I took myself away for a vacation for 5 days and it kind of reignited every single reason why I'm here, what I'm here to support people with, and the message that I want to deliver. So, if you are following me on Instagram, you will see that I've kind of shifted what I am going to be supporting women through generally in the services that I provide. And I had a big realization that I have been holding on to the past, and it's time to let that go. I am no longer just specializing in relationships, especially ones with narcissistic abuse. I've realized that throughout my own journey and where I'm at right now, I'm healing from pain itself, not just heartbreak, but hurt, rejection, abandonment, grief. All of these different emotions make us disconnect from the powerful human being that we are. And that's what I'm here to do. I am here to change and transform that concept. Any person that has been through any type of pain is disconnecting them from their power. And I am here to reconnect that power back again. That's what I've done in my own journey. That's what I'm specialized in. And that's why I am here to support everyone watching and listening to this. So I thought, why not do an episode on what is your feminine power and how can you reignite it? So, feminine power itself, many of us don't actually have a true definition because we don't actually know what true feminine power is because we don't see it a lot in society nowadays. And when we do, a woman is normally shamed for that. She's looked upon it as being too much, very vocal, the rude girl, the bad girl, all of these things. So it's shamed. And that makes us as women be in a disempowered state. We need to relearn and start to actually admire each other as women instead of putting each other down. That's the one major thing because we put each other down because we believe it's a competition when in reality we're actually here to build each other up. I would never want to disempower any woman that's in my world. Never. That's part of how I used to be. That's not part of how I want my life and the world to be, if I'm honest. We're here to build each other up. It's about coming back and supporting each other to reconnect to our power within. And every single woman's feminine power is different. Each of us have our own definition, and it's down to us. It's our responsibility to find it. And the reason why it's so unique is because feminine power is built up of three things. And it's these three things that are normally taken away from us when we go through painful circumstances in our life. And these three things are choice, voice, and truth. And you're probably sat there thinking, what do you mean? Feminine empowerment and you as a woman and your feminine power to have a choice, no matter what you face in your life, is to have your choice, not your mind's choice based on the past, but your heart's choice based on the now. Because many times we face many different situations in our lives. And when we actually take a choice, we base that choice on something that's happened in the past. Because when we've taken a certain choice in the past, it's hurt us. So then we do the opposite, which actually means that the pain itself is disconnecting you from your powerful choice as a person. You are taking a choice based on a painful past experience, which disempowers you in nearly everything you're doing in life. As an example, you have gone through a number of abusive relationships in the past or toxic relationships in the past, and you deep down really desire to be in another relationship. But every time a man comes in, you get scared. So when you get scared, you take the choice to remain single. And why are you taking that choice? Because your mind's telling you in the past, when you've been with men, they've hurt you. And you don't want to go through that hurt again. So you take a choice based on the past. That's one aspect of regaining your power, is regaining your power of choice. Taking the choice, any choices in your life, from a powerful present state, not based on anything that's happened in the past. Because when you're on this journey of self-development, you will know that the past decisions were based on a past version of you that you are no longer. So when you do the deeper work based on the past, you can then empower the choices that you make today. So that's one aspect. The second is your voice. So many of us women, especially, have been shamed for what we have to say. Even when we were little, we could have seen the truth of a situation. We could have seen the truth of a person. And when we're so innocent and so young, we don't we aren't programmed at that point to worry about other people because we know how valid our voice is when we're born, of how worthy the words that we have to say need to be said. And we say them. And when we say them, that then could trigger other people in our reality. It could be that the words that you say that person doesn't want to hear, or it could actually be that you're actually saying that much truth, that you're actually standing up to an adult that can't face the truth about themselves. And because of that, that adult then shames you and is angry at you and teaches you that your voice is not important. Which then means as an adult, when you wish to vocalize what your heart and soul wants to say, your mind stops you. The pain of the past has disconnected you from being able to use your voice in any situation. Even with me, it doesn't do it as often now, but you might have seen in some of my previous videos, I sometimes get a lump in my throat. I go, "Ooh." That is because I am I'm in a process of still reconnecting my voice based on all the past experiences that I've had in my own life. And it's a process of healing each situation that I've been through as a child and as an adult, of reclaiming that power back again in my voice. And step by step, that power comes back. Hence why now I'm on here doing YouTube videos, doing podcasts, because I have regained that much power to my voice. And I know that the words that my voice has to deliver are important. Could I have done that at the beginning of my journey? No, because my voice hadn't had that much power at that point. And by you processing the places where your power was disconnected from your voice, you can reclaim the power in this area for you to vocalize anything that you want to say. And this can come up in so many different areas of your life. You may want to breach a certain subject at work, but you don't have the confidence to say what you want to say because you're scared to lose your job. As example, doing this work will allow you to have the confidence in your voice to say what you need to say and not worry about the other person's reaction, because the power of your voice and the power of what needs to be said is so much more important than what's going to be the reaction of that. The voice is such an important part of regaining our power, especially when it comes to uncomfortable situations. I have had so many conversations now that I'm so proud of because I've regained the power of my voice. I know how to talk now. I don't have arguments anymore, I have discussions. And I am able to portray every single thing that my heart wants the world and that person to hear. Yes, it does feel slightly uncomfortable because I haven't been like that in the past. But moving through that discomfort has given me so much more power to my voice, and it's enabled me to be so much more of a better person as a result. And the third and final part of feminine power, which I believe is the most important, and it's the root really, and everything else builds on top of it, is it's your truth. What is your truth? Because when we are born, we are given our truth of everything. Until we come into this world and then our mind starts to operate. And instead of us having our truth, we are then bombarded with so many different other people's truths, all on top of another, from our parents, from family members, from siblings, from the TV, through the news, through social media. All of these things are put on us. And when they're put on us so much, the truth that we were born with starts to disappear. It starts to become less important. Because if you've got a TV telling you 10 times a day that you need to look a certain way and you need certain weight supplements, like weight loss supplements as example, to look that way, if you're told 10 times a day by the TV, you are going to be programmed that how you look is not how the TV looks. And because of that, you're going to constantly want to keep changing yourself, which is taking you away from the very truth that you were born with, that you are lovable exactly the way that you are. Someone else's definition of what perfection is okay. But my truth is that who I am on the inside is so much more important than who I am on the outside. That's a piece of truth right there. And it's only when you realize that you've taken on so many other people's truths that in that you've lost yourself. This is the major reason why so many women lose themselves, because it's what pain has done and taken away what your truth of yourself is. Classic example, in my own past, I would dress in a certain way. When I first moved to Egypt, I dressed as I did back in the UK. When I did that, I received certain emotional manipulation because of that. And certain words were said to me which caused me hurt and pain on the inside. And because I didn't want to feel that again, I believed that how I dressed wasn't okay because it hurt me. It was painful to me. And because it was painful to me, I then changed that truth to be a truth of his, which then meant I had to change the way I dressed. Because when I changed the way I dressed, I wouldn't receive pain. And this is what so many of us do. We change our truth not to go through a painful situation without realizing that if we actually feel pain and understand pain to find our truth and to find our confidence in that, we will never experience that type of pain again because we will stand solid in our truth. It won't matter what anyone else says around you because your truth is the most powerful. It's the most authentic part of you, and it's the part that makes you the most unique. You're not ever going to want to go away from that because your truth actually makes you the most happiest, unique version of yourself. Why are you going to want to go away from that? I followed everyone else's truths in my own life and hit rock bottom. So why am I going to continue listening to everyone else? I'm not. I have now found through healing the pain of the past my own truth, my own definition of how I look at myself, other people, and the world around me. And guess what? It's made me the very best person that I could be, the truest version of myself. And through my own experience, this is why I'm supporting other women to do exactly the same. You're not here to be like everyone else. I am not here to be like everyone else. You are here with a very unique heart, a heart of gold actually. And the pain that you've been through in your life is actually putting a guard up around you that's stopping you from expressing who you truly are. And it's this guard that's keeping you completely disconnected from your power. Your power lies within your heart, is within your soul. And your mind is keeping you away from that because it's in fear of going through pain. But how about if you know how to handle pain? If you know how to handle pain, nothing is going to stop you because you are going to be reconnected to the three most important parts of you: your voice, your choice, and your truth. When you have these three things nailed, you are reigniting the power within you like crazy. And you will then become a role model for so many other women out there to be standing in their feminine power as well. The way the world is now, it's very masculine orientated. And because of that, us as women have actually gone into our masculine. We're now starting to become like men. Not that I'm shaming that, but we've actually forgotten our true essence. So when I was in my masculine, but I was actually in my toxic masculine, I was overworking like crazy to prove myself because the truth of me being worthy for exactly who I am was taken away from me. So I overworked because I was led to believe through what I saw growing up that no one else can provide for me apart from myself, which took another truth away from me, that me being me is magnetic to any single thing that I desire, including money. As a feminine being standing in her power, I am worthy of absolutely anything. I can attract everything that I need just by being me. And that's what I do in my life now because I've tapped into that feminine energy. I've tapped into that feminine power. My magnetism, my heart, who I uniquely am. And this is the thing, when you tap into that feminine power, you actually find yourself because you find your truth. And when you find your truth, you become the woman that you was actually put on this earth to be. And when you are that woman, you attract every single thing that was written for you before you even came here. So if you was written to meet a certain person, when you become the version of you that you was meant to be, you will align with the person that you need to meet. You don't need to go out looking for him. He'll already come to you. That's the power of this work. But when you're in a place of pain, you're not acting as the woman, you're not being the woman that you was put on this earth to be. So how can the opportunities, the people, the friends, the soulmates find you when you're not acting in alignment with who you're supposed to be? And this is another gift of feminine power, is you coming back to that version, unlearning everything that pain has taught you, because pain teaches us so much and it puts us in such a fearful state. It disconnects us from our heart, which is who we are as women. Everything comes from the heart, and it just keeps us connected to our head. Like, how small is our head compared to the rest of our body? Like, hello, guys, like, our head is so much smaller than the rest of our body, but that's the only place that we're connected to. We need to change that. We need to transform that. Like, there's so many of us women that have gone through so much hurt that we don't tell the world because we've got to act like we've got our shit together, that everything's okay. When in actual fact, feeling that pain is going to be the one thing that transforms you in more ways than one. And you might be listening to this thinking, I've been through so much pain in my life, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to relive it. And I get that. And most of the time, it's not actually about reliving what happened, it's understanding deep within that what that made you believe about yourself. Because it's what it made you believe about yourself that caused you the pain in the first place. It wasn't actually what was done to you, it was how you viewed yourself based on what was done to you. That's the difference. And it's only when you understand how that version of you thinks and processing the pain of that version of you, because even if something happened to you 20 years ago and you didn't cry, that is blocked in your body till this day. And it's only when you sit with that pain and allow that pain to be expressed that you clear the blockage and you actually feel a shift in yourself. I've been doing so much work recently, and I actually took myself to the beach about 10 days ago, and I had 5 hours to myself. And there was a certain situation that happened in my childhood that I processed at that point, and I learned two huge truths and choices that I took at that point that disconnected me from a huge part of myself. I expressed emotion of that version of me. I allowed the tears to flow, and you cannot imagine how much my whole perception on life has changed just through crying and allowing my own inner child at that point to express her emotion. Because all those years ago, she wasn't given the space to express her emotion because no one listened to her. And this is the depth of the reparenting and the inner work that I support my clients through in my mentorship. Like this stuff, honestly, it's transformational. And if you're listening to this, knowing that you have pain in the past that you haven't dealt with, that you know is blocking you on your journey going forward, or even you may be listening to this wanting to make a difference in your life, but you feel like something's holding you back, there's a certain pain that is holding you back. And once you understand and decode that pain, you'll be able to reconnect yourself to your power in order for you to achieve the one thing that you desire the most in life. I want every single person out there to know about this work because it is honestly life changing. And I've given you just a small amount of examples how you can reconnect to three different parts of your feminine power through doing this work and how it can transform your life. And transformation in this type of work is actually how you feel on the inside. It's about having the peace inside of you, not worrying about what other people think when you go out in the world, and having the power to say, I am who I am, and I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. That feeling is priceless. Priceless. Having the choice of how you react to certain situations in your life. Like now, I used to argue with quite a lot of people on Facebook because I was projecting how I didn't feel that my voice was important. So I was making sure whenever I was on Facebook, I was making sure my voice was heard. Now, I don't even argue with anyone because I know my truth. And also, I know the value of my voice. Not everyone deserves to hear my voice. Not everyone deserves to hear my words because not everyone wants to listen. That huge worry's just come off my shoulders. This is what reconnecting and reigniting that feminine power within you is going to gift you. It's also going to gift you the biggest gift of giving yourself permission to be you. The angry you, the upset you, the scared you, the fearful you, the happy you, the excited you, the child version of you. That's what it does. There is no shame anymore because every single part of you is given the freedom to express themselves. And that in any type of relationship is where you're going to get the depth, the connection, the intimacy, the everything. Because you're you, the truest version of you. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am to bring so much more wisdom on this subject. Um, I'm still on my journey. I will always be on my journey because there is so much to unlearn and relearn. And I am so excited to share all what I do in my own journey with you to know that if I can do it, so can you. We no longer have to be someone that we're not. We no longer have to be driven in a fearful place of pain, being scared to be hurt any longer, to be scared of rejection, heartbreak. We don't have to live that life anymore. I gave myself permission to feel my feelings and tap into my power. And in this episode, I want to give you exactly the same permission too. So I will leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. Put me a message on Instagram or on Facebook or any of the social media platforms that I am on below in the show notes. And as always, I will see you on the next episode.